Hello everyone. Welcome to my tier list of the worst Super Nintendo Entertainment System games. Now, if you want some context, I did do a live stream a couple weeks ago playing some of what were ranked as the worst Super Nintendo games based on lists and things that I've seen, not my opinion. And today I'm going to be finally ranking them. Same tier list as I used for my NES tier list. Now, if you want to watch my live stream or my other NES tier list, you can do that, linked in the description below. And also keep in mind, if you like one of these games, it's just my opinion. Do not take it that seriously. And if you're thinking, why is this game on here and it shouldn't be that bad, I just did based on lists. So I've got every SNES game here. I already took the ones I played and put in my tier list. So the actually good tier, which sadly I'm still not going to use today, didn't use it last time, didn't use it this time, seems to be okay for games that I'm like, I don't think it should be on the worst games ever. Mediocre, bad, dog shit, and worst games ever, because the whole reason I'm doing all this stuff is because I'm trying to find what the worst games ever are. So I'm going through every console, and then I'll probably do PC and some other stuff, and see what really are the worst games ever. So today, we've got these games here. So let's rank them. Let's do easiest first. Hong Kong 97, the only unlicensed game here, I believe. Pretty infamous. This is barely a game. Horrible soundtrack that just repeats forever. Ridiculous story, and just gameplay is basically like a Space Invaders, but it's crap. You die once, it's over, and you have to restart the game. It's barely a game. It's basically a joke, and there's no reason to ever play this. It's absolute crap. So easily worst games ever tier. Next up, let's see. Less Than Unlikely. This is one I had quite a good time playing. By good time, I mean a terrible time, but like I meant like I got pretty like far into it as if I remember correctly. So keep in mind in my live stream I didn't play these games too long because I want to keep it short and sweet. I don't like my live streams to be too long and grueling, and plus I can only take so much. So I have gone back and played these games to really get my good feel on them. But Less Than Unlikely is one of the games that I didn't need to, because I believe go back too much because I already played a good amount of it. This game's pretty bad. Why would you want to play a platformer where your character's a little whiny bitch and doesn't do what you want him to do? Super weak. You have to like climb super slow, and even going down, you're not. This game doesn't let you just go down quickly. You got to be slow and stupid. It's just not very fun. Probably dog shit tier. I mean, the only good things I could say is like it works, but that's keeping out of worst games ever, I guess. And graphically, it's not terrible, but just way too brutal. And your post stun invincibility is like literally like half a second. You just take damage and you're dead. All right, next up, this Home Alone 2 game. I know they're similar on the NES, but I didn't think it was that bad. I'm not quite sure if it should be in the seems to be okay tier. It just felt like a kind of game like, well, you run from the guys, okay. Controls fine. I mean, there's some guys I'm like, how am I supposed to get over them? Not really quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing in the game. I'm just like, okay, I go up elevators and do shit. So I guess I'm not. It's kind of like on in between. Seems to be okay and mediocre. I'm just gonna put it in mediocre right now because I couldn't find much of a point to the game. What's an easy one? Okay, Terminator 2. In my live stream, I really didn't show a good portion of this game because I could not figure it out and I thought it was terrible. But once I went back and tried to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do, I realized I could enter the buildings. I know what I do. It's definitely better than what I thought it was. It's still not great. It's a little clunky. There's just enemies coming out everywhere. You just kind of just shoot them. It's like, okay, that's lame. Collecting items isn't that fun. And it's just nothing special. You gotta collect your shit and do whatever. Then, so I was going to put it in seems to be okay once I figured that out. But then I got to the driving on the motorcycle, and that shit drives so bad. Like, I know what the controls do, but like it still sucks. And you can't turn where you want to because the game is stupid. So that's going to put it right here, too. These two games could be in the seems to be okay tier, but have things that drag them down. Honestly, I think Home Alone 2 could probably be up there. It seems to be okay because like it doesn't really have anything that's like glaringly bad. Like this one, that driving just took it down. Next up, Wizard of Oz. So this game's got a lot of color to it, and the soundtrack's not terrible and all, but it's a platformer with broken platforming, where you can't really land on the objects, which is really annoying when I went back to it. It's also a little annoying, like how weak Dorothy is with taking hits, and that you have to collect stuff to even use anything but her shitty kick. But it's not the worst thing ever. It does mostly what it should be doing. If it wasn't for the platforms not working, I think it could be and seems to be okay. But because it's a platformer and that is a kind of an issue, I have to bring it down to mediocre. But other than that, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's just a very mediocre platformer that's a little hard. But having that brings it down. And it seems to be okay tier. Definitely worse than Terminator 2, though. What's another one? Okay, Bebe's Kids. This game shocked me how bad it was. It's just monotonously mashing the button, trying to kill everyone, and taking forever. The stupid time limit. The backgrounds make no sense. Story doesn't make sense. And then the next level, the doors don't make any sense, and it's confusing. It's like a maze. This game is easily worst games ever. I'm gonna put blunt. I think Honkai 97 is probably gonna be the worst one here, but Bebe's Kids was bad. Like, this game shocked me. Nostalgia Critic really picked a bad game because holy crap, this is terrible. I'm assuming the show is better, but even if the show sucks, it can't be worse than this. Another one that was so bad I was shocked, Race Driving. This game just did not work on the Super Nintendo. Like, it was so low frame rate. Like, I mean, I know on an emulator I could technically probably make it run better, but my settings are set to everything natural, so like, that's the way it would run on a console, and that's how bad it is. Um, Runs so bad you're basically watching like a stop motion. Um, I still could barely understand what the hell I'm doing in the car. It's like the dash is so overcomplicated. I'm like, this just should be a basic driving game, and you just lose immediately. So, uh, I guess it's worse than Baby Kids, but it's pretty equal because like you could barely play the game. And then let me just finish off the worst games ever tier. Pit Fighter 2. I think Pit Fighter's I guess Pit Fighter is worse. Pit Fighter is basically like just as bad as Karate Champ on the NES. You're just button mashing and you don't know what the hell you're doing. Super clunky, horrible graphics, and the NPCs just kick your ass. I guess with two people it wouldn't be as bad, but it's still just absolute crap. Barely any game to it. Like, there's just nothing good about it. It's such a bland game. Like, you just punch, punch, kickity kick, you know? Like, I know that's what most fighting games are, but this one just has nothing fun to say about it. You just lose immediately, and that's it. So it's easily absolute crap. These three are all kind of equal-ish to me. So you could rank whatever you want. Balloon Mirror's Combat Basketball. Now, while this game functioned, it was just like, it just was so lame. Like, it was like basketball, but you could barely shoot. And there's like nothing, no dunking or anything as far as I could find out. And all you do is just kind of like shove the guy and you get the ball. It's like, it's not even that violent because like you're like robot guys or whatever. So I guess this has to go in bad because like it's not unplayable. It's just like, why would this be a game? So yeah, I think it's solid bad tier. Batman Forever, I think, also has to go in like bad tier. I guess it's a little better. Graphically, it looks decent. Like it's basically like a shitty Mortal Kombat Batman game. It's kind of a little bland where you just punch, punch, punch. But there's a little bit more to the game with the items and stuff as you go on, which is why I wouldn't quite put it like lower. But and the reason I won't put it higher though is because how obtuse the game is with what you're supposed to do half the time. And like I'm like, why is select and like pressing up slightly before to use the damn grappling hook? It's so specific and stupid. And dropping down was even hard. Like those basic control things make it so annoying. Then to begin with that, the combat is so like brain dead too that like it just really doesn't do anything special for the game. And the last game is 3D Balls. While this one functions a lot better than Pit Fighter, it's still not great, which is hard. Very weird art style, and don't know why they made it 3D. It just makes it kind of more annoying when you're trying to get close to the opponent to fight them. Personally, I think it's like a bad game, but I feel like if I learned the game, I guess the controls aren't that bad. Like I don't know the combos, so I guess I have to put it in mediocre. I'd recommend playing most any other fighting games, but if this is the only one you got, and if you learned it and you played with a buddy, I guess you could have an okay time with it. Playing on your own is not fun. And also, why is it called 3D Balls? I mean, just why? And why is the intro music so sussy? So yeah, this is my rough approximation for the worst SNES games. If you think there's some that I should have played that are even worse, let me know. I'll probably check it out. If you think I didn't rank it okay, then let me know that too. Obviously, this could change. I mean, if I did this tomorrow, it might be a little different. This is what I think today. Here's the Super Nintendo games that I didn't play, which is this is all of them, hopefully. Um, Last but not least, next up I will probably be doing either Nintendo 64 or I might shake it up. I was thinking maybe doing Sega Master System or possibly Atari 2600. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching.